Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Market Prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I had an incredible day yesterday and the day before. It was a good weekend. Very busy weekend, but a nice one. How about you? Did you do anything fun this weekend?
Yeah, man. I had the kids over. We did a bunch of stuff, running around. So we did errands, but we also have fun as well. So we do this Home Depot thing every first of the month. I don't know if you guys do your little ones, but it's a lot of fun. We go out there. We did that and gymnastics and soccer for the kid, for my boy. I mean, it's a busy household, man. This age is we're
Okay.
busy. My life is all about the kids. So, but it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy myself. But
Excellent.
yeah, that's what's happening over the weekend. Let's take a look at our gappers list, friends. See what's happening there, and then we'll look at our U.S. economic calendar. Obviously, the big thing this week is nothing but the election. I mean, that is what's hot. That's what we're all waiting for, and can't wait for tomorrow. It's going to be very exciting week. Gappers list this morning, a bit of down right now at the moment. So we got pickers on both sides of the field here, and some names that we know very well, and others that we have not seen before, and low flows continue to show up on our list today. We got VSTE on here. We'll look at what's happening there. So 1.3 million shares float. Seems like the last month, Peter, like our low floats are more active than they've been in a very, very long time, and also providing some good opportunities for those people that do trade that type of style, right? Me and you are not those type of traders, but for those that do, they're having a lot of fun, man. It's a lot going on in that area.
Yeah,
Before we
they've
jump
been.
in there, Peter, take us to.
I mean,
Mhm.
they're
Yeah,
always moving. I think they're just getting our attention a little more because they tend to be in some segments that we're watching. And as you say, like there's always
yeah,
something low floaty to trade out there. You got to be crazy enough to try it.
yeah, agreed. All right, friends, let's jump to it. Economic calendar. What is happening for today, Peter?
Well, all right. As people are commenting in the chat, you bet. If you got the time wrong, you might have been waiting for us for an hour, or thinking that the market is opening. It is not. We're still, an hour away, or 57 minutes away, as we had daylight savings time in many places, except for those that aren't following it. So now we're back onto real time. Can you call that real time? Anyways, daylight savings is over. We're back to normal time. Today it's a pretty light day. They've chosen not to put too many economic events going today. We only have two things at 10 a.m. factory orders and the vehicle sales in the U.S. So we'll see how close those come at 10 a.m. when those numbers come out. But other than that, really no economic events. We got a couple of earnings to talk about this morning, but not many. It's certainly not like last week where we had just a ton of stuff on the earnings. As you can see, there's a bunch of companies out there, but by and large, it's not the same. Same caliber of company. The same, the big tradable ones have generally already had their earnings. Whole bunch of other stuff coming out, but we'll pick some highlights, but won't be watching most of these unless. Oh my goodness! Couldn't hold it any longer.
Peter.
Sneeze had to happen. Oh my god!
You're alive.
It caught me.
You're alive.
Yeah. Anyways, we won't be watching most of these unless they jump up on the gappers. So if you guys have ones that you want to take a look at, you let us know. We'll be happy to take a peek at it. But most of these they just don't get the trading volume that hits our radar every day. But we'll let you know about the ones that are fun and interesting. Okay, with that, let's take a look at what is gapping, and we'll go from there as we get started on, like you said, Carlos, this big election week. Today is the calm before the storm, by the way, right? Like on this Monday, we might get almost normal type trading. I'm sure we're going to see things like DJT on our list, which has been moving for a couple of weeks now. But yeah, tomorrow being election day, things are going to start to get weird. Wednesday is just going to be completely wacky, is my expectation. No idea which direction the markets are going to go, let alone the whole U.S., seen, but I expect the markets to get
Yeah.
a little unpredictable over the next few days. So yeah, enjoy today because it's probably going to get a little wacky.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be definitely interesting. We'll see how this thing shakes out. I just hope that we know right away, Tuesday night. I don't want this dragging on, and that's the thing, right? Like, how soon are we going to know?
Yeah, don't
Especially with
hold
these
your
swing
breath.
states, right? So, yeah, it's gonna be messy. I could see it, right? So people are expecting it to be a little bit messy. So we'll see. Quick look at our gappers list, friends. We do have a bunch on here. Let's take a look at VST starting the gap up list this morning. We are up 70% right now, 8.2 million shares traded. As we mentioned earlier, a low flow active of 1.3 this morning. And again, hard to borrow. You cannot short this thing, which is typically normal for these type of low flow stocks. Again, we spoke a little bit earlier. Some of these have been seem like very active, but Peter could be right. It's just the sectors that we're watching or our criteria are being hit more often than not on these lower flow stocks. But we also seen some really good action out of them if you are looking into them. So this one is in play for sure. I'll add it to my risky pile. I mean, personally, it's going to be for entertainment purposes. I like watching the holds. I like watching it go up. 120%. That's all fun. But for me personally, I don't touch this stuff, right? So I'm not going to be trading it, but it is in play. Peter, any news on VSTE this morning?
Yeah, apparently they've got a partnership to be able to bring CSP powered green methanol. I'm honestly trying to figure out how this works. So CSP stands for concentrated solar thermal power. I I still don't understand how this technology works. Anyways, they are partnering with a company called GGS Energy to bring the CSP powered green methanol to the United States. I mean, obviously, being an Australian company, being able to serve the US opens a big market for them, and I can see why the company is moving this morning. It's good news for them. Carlos, I'm skeptical as to whether it's going to translate into enough trading volume that we'll be able to take advantage of it today. I mean, it's over the. Obviously, this news, did break, or at least somebody was aware of it last week, because we can see earlier in November it did move, but yeah, like on Friday, November the 1st, we had some price action. Today, we've already got 8.4 million shares traded, so there's no question it's in play, but. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to take a look at it. You know what? Maybe that's why I'm skeptical. I'm just looking at the chart from Friday. It looks like the news might have hit around midday for us Friday, so that's why we didn't see it Friday morning when we were doing our show, because it only took off sometime just before noon. So, yeah, I mean, if you don't mind the low float, if you don't mind the risk on this one, what's the float, Carlos? Yeah, 2 million shares. Yeah,
1.3.
uh,
Yeah, 1.3 I'm
yeah.
showing. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, there you go. Well, look, it's in play. So if you don't mind, again, the risk profile on it, it looks like you might be able to have some fun in this. Up 60% this morning with 8 million shares traded. Can't deny it's a moving.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to have it here on my risky pile, guys. Let's see what it does this morning. Let's take a look at the next one. It's going to be ATSG. So if we look at ATSG here, this is actually halted right now, pending news. So got going early this morning around 4:30. Did get a gap up around 20%. Has been holding that since. And then right now there's some news pending on this. And you see that halt here, which is one of the only, not one, there's a few, but this is one of the halts that can happen pre-market. There's no volatility halts in the pre-market. This is why these low flow stocks get going so quickly up 100, 50, 100%. It's just they go insane. But this one is a little bit different. So I guess we'll wait and see. Wait and see what the news is on this, Peter. Not sure if anything's out already.
Yeah. Well, and I don't. I mean, I don't. This must be a recent IPO or something. I don't even see any news on it. Like the news,
Hmm.
they're not even following it. So I'm not sure what to make of this bad boy. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not AS. No, you know why? Because I'm typing it
To be
wrong.
a Looks like to be acquired. So to be acquired by Stone Peak for 3.1
ATSG.
billion.
You know
Yeah.
what? I have
So
my dyslexia kicked in. I was looking at the. I was typing in
yeah.
wrong. Yes. There you
We're
go.
good.
Anyways, yes, it's going to be acquired by a company called Stone Peak for about 3.1 billion. Looks like it's an all cash deal though. At $22.50 is the cash price. So cash deals don't normally result in good trading opportunities because the price will go to a level just below the acquisition price and just sit there. And it's probably what this thing is going to do. So yeah, it's up at 21. What is it sitting right now? 21.40. It's halted. Yeah, it's probably not going to go anywhere. We can move on.
We'll leave it
You're on
alone.
mute.
It's not a good one. Let's go over to Peton. And Peton this morning, we are up 8%, 1.1 million shares traded, as you can see here. Again, it's been active since Thursday. We saw the gap up, sold off on Friday, and today we're gapping up again. So it's been back and forth. Let's see how it traded. I didn't really keep a close eye on it on Thursday when it was in play. And Thursday, as you can see here, was a bit messy. So especially out of the gates. Did trade excellent though on Friday. Friday's trading, look at this. That is beautiful. A little bit rough at the start, but then it really held on to this 9 and a beautiful drop there on Piton. So it'll be interesting. Maybe coming on a third day of play here. Maybe a secondary on this one. We'll keep an eye on it. I love the way it traded. Yes, that was a beautiful sell-off on this one, Peter. Did you pay
Yeah,
any attention to it?
I didn't. A couple people in the room were talking about it and had mentioned it. Last week was earnings, which is why it had originally moved. This morning, it's getting some upgrades. Two different analyst agencies have upgraded it, including the Bank of America, which made the interesting step. And pardon me, y'all know how I feel about analysts, but Bank of America has gone and upgraded from underperform all the way up to buy. So they skipped over the neutral, equal weighted hold categories and just said from, you shouldn't have it in your portfolio, you should be getting rid of it, to add more of it. Okay. And they've put a price target of $9, which is not too aggressive, but it's above the current price anyway. So, yeah, I think that upgrade is giving Peloton a little bit of a boost, and other analyst agencies might continue to follow. So, people are suddenly bullish on what Peloton might be able to do. I don't know. I mean, we know that they were the pandemic darling, right? One of those is everybody was trying to figure out how to stay fit in their house and buy things. And I'd be curious for our members. Tell me, how many of you have a Peloton bike that is still in use? And how many have a Peloton bike that is a coat rack? Because that's usually what happens, right? It ends up
Yeah. Yeah.
collecting clothing. Best of intentions, they don't always pan out. Oh, well, a couple people saying it's still in use. And do you have the subscription? Are you still subscribing to their service, or you're just like cycling to your own beat? Oh, all right. So we got a mixed picture here. Some people are saying it's using to dry towels. Um, it's all right. Well, anyways, so yeah, Peloton got an upgrade. So if you like it, trade it. I said I haven't looked at it. I mean, as you said, Carlos, Friday's move actually looks very smooth. It's a move down.
Yeah.
So maybe today can recover, but Friday's move was just a nice smooth slope. So if you'd taken that short, you would have been pretty happy if you got your risk management correct. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect of
Yeah.
it. We'll maybe I'll put it on a secondary and keep an eye on it. I think there's probably better things out in the jungle.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of agree with you there as well. Secondary for me for now, and that we'll just take a look, see how it looks in a few minutes. Here's XPEV, and XPEV does this quite a bit. It's been just gapping up, gapping down between 3 to 5%. Today's 5.5, and it's just it doesn't trade well. So we're up 5.5 this morning, 461,000 shares traded. It just doesn't look good in the pre-market, and we've been seeing this a lot from XPEV. So Peter, not sure if this one is being driven by any news at all from XBEV, or any Chinese. I don't see any other Chinese tickers on the list, but maybe any Chinese news moving this today.
Well, there was more industry news out of China. A number of the car companies released their deliveries on Friday. So Friday afternoon, we had BYD, XPEV, Li Auto. Xpeng is the actual company name. Anyways, they all released delivery numbers, and they were all up. So the delivery numbers were over expected, which gives a little bit of hope into that industry. We know that the Chinese economy has been depressed and down over the last little while. The fact that Chinese electric car deliveries have increased above expectations is a sign, is a good sign. I'll give you that. So that being said, I was looking at, I think it was LI on Friday. It wasn't XPEV. It was LI. I think I was looking at, and by mid afternoon or even midday, it was just the trading was, it was just algorithmic. It was the computers that were trading each other. The stock moved, but when I was looking at the price action, it was not tradable. It was just like, it looks okay in a 5 minute. You go to a 1 minute and it's like it's a penny at a time, and it was really just, yeah, it was not easy to trade. So I don't hold out a lot of hope that XPEV is going to give us a tradable opportunity, but maybe right at the open, if you jump on it quick, you might be able to find something in it. Don't let me dissuade you from it, but for me, yeah, I'll just it's of interest, but not for trading, not today.
Yeah, it just doesn't look great. So yeah, I'm gonna skip on that one as well. Let's take a look at Roblox. Roblox has been extremely active, as we know here, friends. It started on Thursday, so Thursday got a huge gap up here. But I gotta say, man, it hasn't been trading well, and I'll show you what I mean. Here's Thursday's action, if I got this right. Yeah, this was Thursday. Nice pop up, and then just look at the intraday. It's just very, very sideways, not a whole lot. This is on the 31st, and if we look at I think all last week too was bad, right? The next day too. I don't remember Friday that much. Yeah, Friday was also nasty. Again, just not providing us a whole lot of opportunity. So today we're up again 2.9, even less volume than the last two pre-market opens. So I expect the volume on the day to be lower unless we either get trending or up or down here. Worth watching, I think so. Just because here's what I like about it, right? We are actually holding this gap up, so that's nice, right? If we can get running here, it looks like it's not an overreaction, at least right now. The market thinks it's worth this to be at this price, and it's moving higher. So that, on its own is interesting. So I'm gonna have it as a secondary, and let's see if it can trade well today. I do like Roblox, but again, last week it did not trade well at all, at least for the intraday. Um, Peter, thoughts on Roblox going into a third day
It
of play?
is moving higher. Well, apparently, Carlos, no thanks to you. You're keeping your daughter's characters in Hoboland, not buying them
Yeah.
extra skins and outfits and stuff, which apparently, according to Roblox, they said which was pushing their earnings. So, anyways, so they had good on earnings, but this morning they also had an upgrade. Morgan Stanley has upgraded them with a price target of $65. So that upgrade has given a little more wind in the sails of Roblox's move, and looks like they might be able to continue for another couple of bucks. I do not expect them to get near that $65 price in the next few days, but who knows? Over the next little while, they might. But this morning, yeah, that upgrade seems to be what's pushing them.
BR Buck says my daughter is obsessed with Roblox and also her friends. Yeah, she's my daughter's not obsessed with it, but she loves it, man. She has a lot of fun. We just got to be careful with our kids in this thing, man. There's a lot of crazy stuff out there, so she has to play when I'm very close by hearing what's going on. So we just got to be careful.
Hmm.
All right, let's stick to the next one here, Dell. So Dell is also up 2.4, 230,000 shares traded at the moment. So not the best trader. I remember when these guys were somewhat in play before and they still didn't trade well. So on Friday, though, they did have a good day. Light volume. They don't get great volume, but they did have a nice intraday activity here, which I won't be surprised if the 1 minute looks pretty bad because look at this is a 5 minute. And if you look at the volume, it's like 200, 100,000 shares traded. That's not a lot of volume for 5 minutes. So it could be pretty ugly if you look at a 1 minute on here. So, Peter, any news on Dell? Obviously, doing good this morning, up another 2.4 starting this week.
Yeah, well, there is some sentiment. A few articles out there that feel Dell is well poised to take on more of the AI server market. So, there's only a limited number of producers of the actual server infrastructure that AI. So we talk about the chip sector all the time, but the chips have to be mounted into some sort of device, right? And someone's building and configuring those. And Dell, of course, is one of the larger ones that build servers of all sizes and capabilities. And the one article I was reading said that with SMCI, if you remember, we were talking about that last week. They've got their issues with their numbers, and they may be going down for the count. Dell is poised to pick up some of their business. So again, it's good news potentially, but it's sort of it's people sort of expecting there to be a good opportunity rather than the actual realization of that opportunity. So Carlos, like you were saying, Dell, I always like to think Dell would trade well, but it rarely does. It just, for some reason, the price action is a little choppy. I find it just difficult to trade in a smooth fashion and predict. So by all means, if you like it, you can put it on your list. But I'll only be looking at it, frankly, if our members tell me that it's moving like crazy, and then I might jump back to it.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I don't think it's even worth a secondary. I just don't like the way it moves. That covers our gap up list, guys. Everything on there is covered. Peter, anything you like this morning that might not be showing on this list right now?
Well, if we're gonna talk gap up list, I guess now you see everything I thought I was going to talk about gapping is gapping down so far this morning because I had a few earnings to talk about, and they are all moving down. So let me hold that. We'll hold those until we get to that list, Carlos.
Okay, you got it. Let's take a look at what's gapping down, friends. And as you can see here, we have a lot more on the gap down list, including some of our favorites like Tesla's down here, CMCI gapping down again. Can't wait to get to that one. But yeah, a few that we are more familiar with. Let's look at TGTX. So TGTX this morning down 15%. This is TG Therapeutics, not to be confused with Target. But 469,000 shares traded here. Peter, looks like it started dropping early this morning around 7 o'clock. Any news or earnings or something causing this? Looks like earnings.
Yeah, they had earnings. It didn't have a bad quarter. It looks like, as far as I could tell, um, they beat on revenue, earning 83.9 million in revenue, excuse me, versus the 80.3 expected. And they had profit of, well, their profit slightly missed, I guess. The analysts expected 4 cents a share and they only earned 2. I think the bigger news for them, however, is that their full year guidance was sort of the low end of expectations, and that's bringing them down. So at the very least, this is a biotech. Usually on Mondays, we get the biotechs that have like a failed drug or something like that. That is not the case. It's just earnings that's pushing these guys. So, I could take it or leave it. I don't know what to expect. Really, probably it's going to die off. The open will probably be good for about 10, 15 minutes. And then I think TGTX will be fairly boring for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's my take on it as well. I'm not a great trader of this one, so I'll leave it alone. I'm not going to add on my list. I think we'll find better things to look at. Let's look at Riley, RILY this morning. These guys are down 9.5, 338,000 shares traded. Hard to borrow at the moment, and they just don't look good. What's the float on this? 16 million shares flow. So it's a low flow stock, and I'm not a low flow trader, but if you have 16 million shares flow, you're only trading 338,000. Like, I'm not attracted to that. I don't know if people that are very low flows are, but that doesn't look good. So we'll skip on it, Peter, unless you have something for it.
Well, I mean, there is some news on this. So Riley's sort of a conglomerate. They've got a whole bunch of brands underneath them. Two bits of news. One, there looks like they're going to divest one of their wealth management businesses, and they get rid of that. But they also are filing for bankruptcy. So that's obviously the big news. The underneath right. So again, it seems to be this whole series of, I don't want to call them shell companies, but nested companies, the integrated companies that one of which is the franchise group, which owns brands like the Vitamin Shop and Pet Supplies Plus. Anyways, it filed for bankruptcy protection, so that's never good news. And sort of surprised actually that Riley
Yep.
isn't dropping more on that. But bankruptcy is always problematic.
Yeah, it's not fun. Um, So we'll leave that one alone here. Look at this, the short interest on this 72%. So that's quite a lot there.
Yeah.
Okay, this morning, down 9.3. This has been active on our list on and off in either gapping up or gapping down. Today is gapping down 10%, 1.1 million shares traded. We do have shares for sure on this. Not a lot, only 250,000, which is not, again, not a lot for a $20 stock. So looks interesting though. I gotta say, the way it's sitting here, kind of losing some of the support that it had over the last couple of days. We broke down from this previous day close at 21 40-ish. Does look interesting. And are we going into some weakness here and heading lower? This thing ran up pretty nice in October and not looking so hot over the last couple of days. So I'm inclined to put this on my secondary. I might even move it up depending how this
Mhm.
list develops. Peter, what's your thoughts on this one?
Well, as you can see on the daily chart, the volume really ramped up mid October. So the last couple of weeks, nuclear's been hot with all of the talk of the AI data centers needing so much more energy that we had Three Mile Island nuclear plant coming back online and other nuclear facilities. Basically, under pressure to provide energy power for these data centers. This morning, a little bit of bad news for that whole picture, in that regulators did not approve a deal for Amazon. Was looking for some more power out of the, I may say this wrong, but the Susquehanna nuclear plant, which is in Pennsylvania. And the regulators said no. They were worried about the costs that would create to consumers and the demand on the grid. So basically, Amazon's request slash demand for power has been denied. And that denial by the regulators to approve it has sort of hit the whole industry. I'm seeing that, pick any one of these stocks in the sector, it seems to be being affected by that. So that OKLO being one of the biggest gainers is obviously going to be one of the bigger ones hit by that. So it's not directly impacting them, but it's impacting the area in which they play, and that's why they're moving down.
Yeah.
Nuclear.
It's
People are
nuclear.
questioning my nuclear.
Nuclear.
I say nuclear, but that's maybe that's a Canadian thing. I don't know.
They might be doing
Nuclear,
it because it's a famous Simpsons quote. Homer
is it?
corrects his commanding officer when he takes over a nuclear submarine. Anyways, I'm not getting into it.
Okay. All right. Well. All right.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
It's
All right, heading
interesting
down
if
the
I
list,
think
guys.
about it.
Another.
In
Mhm.
no, sorry. Anyways, no, I'm going down a rabbit hole here, but interesting if I think about it in my head, we'd have a nuclear explosion, but nuclear power. Like I don't know if that's a me thing, but if it was the power side, I would call it nuclear. If it's an explosion like a bomb, it's a nuclear bomb. I, anyways, don't know why that is. Never thought about it
That,
before. You guys are
that
catching me on this. That's odd. Anyways, all right, it's just me.
the
Everybody says it's
English
just me.
language
I
is
think it
very
must be a Canadian
interesting.
thing.
Very interesting at
Yeah.
times.
Anyways,
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. NNE on here down 7%, 296,000 shares traded. It's been in play over the last couple of days, so at least active over the last couple of days. Right now, we're sliding down again, losing some support here at 19.22. Just not sure where that is going to be heading. So, low flow, 17 million shares flow. We do have shares for sure on it as well. Barely 10,000, so that might not even be there. I'm not sure on this one. It's similar to OKLO, similar to this one, right? Kind of
yep.
losing that support over the last couple of days, but I really like a OKLO much better than NNE this morning. So I'm gonna go with that one if I'm gonna watch anything in this area. Um, Peter, anything on this?
No, so like you said, same story here. This whole sector, so
Yeah,
all these companies we've been looking at are affected by this news. Again, it's not. I mean, it's not like the regulator has said no nuclear. Now you guys are going to screw me up on this. Anyways, no power ever. Just in this specific deal with Amazon, they have not approved it. But the whole industry's taken a hit this morning.
there it is. All right, friends. We're not gonna go down everything on this list. I'm gonna hop around a little because some stuff here that we want to get to. So we'll look at Tesla, we'll look at DJT, obviously, and then we'll look at what Peter has on his list. So let's go down to Tesla. They are down this morning 2%, 2.3 million shares traded. I mean, they're giving away a lot of the gains they had last week or 2 weeks ago, right? They had this nice gap up after doing almost nothing. If you could see here on this daily, they were pretty flat. Got going here after earnings, and then slowly been sliding down. We're at the beginning of this gap up, right? At least when it opened up at the opening day. So interesting here. I do like where they're sitting at right now. I will put them on my list. Peter, any other news besides just reacting or leftovers from the gap up that they had 2 weeks ago?
Well, I indirectly mentioned the news a minute ago when we were talking about XPEV. Uh, the Chinese sales numbers, like I mentioned, are released for a lot of the auto manufacturers, including Tesla. They're not a Chinese EV but manufacturer, but they do sell in the market. In fact, are one of the major players. While a lot of them grew, Tesla actually shrank by about 5.3%. So their deliveries were down over the last quarter, and that's one of the things I think that's affecting them. I think that's just being added to the fact that they've been down 5 days in a row here and are continuing to slide. They're now heading into this gap range, which is not good news. I mean, they had a good gap up. Everybody was pretty excited, but it didn't last very long. And if we get through this gap, as you can see, there's a good 25, $30 of room to the downside. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens. We have to keep in mind as well, Elon has, he's picked a political side. So, there could be perception as to what that means based on election results as well. So I'm a little skeptical as to whether, Tesla's fortunes will actually be changed directly based on the outcome of the election. But we certainly know Elon's been vocal, and as we've said many times in the past, right? Like Elon, he talks and things happen. So especially with his stock, so it's in play, whatever happens.
Yeah, it sure is. I like it. I'm gonna add it on my list. First one that makes my main list right now, 2.3 million and down 2.1. And I just like the way they're setting up here for a possible for whatever it does. If it sells off, we have a nice gap that we can start covering here. And if we find support here as well, it'll be good for long. But look at the last couple of days, it has been nothing but red. They have gapped up, sold off, gapped up, sold off, and they continue today to just gap down and selling down in the pre-market. So should be interesting. All right, another one we've been talking about a lot this morning, DJT. So obviously very active, 8.3 million shares traded, down 2%. We do have shares for sure, 400,000. Just be careful. I mean, treat this like a low flow. I expect this today and tomorrow to be insane. But it'll be fun. I'm going to put it here
Yes.
next to my VS. It's going to be fun to watch. Definitely not going to miss that. And if I do find some opportunities to take advantage of it, I sure will. But it will be here at my risky pod because you do have to be careful. This thing halted a couple of times last week, and you saw what happened to one of the best traders that we know, Andrew, on this thing. Obviously, he takes really big size, but you just gotta be careful with this one, right? So don't treat it lightly when it comes to trading DJT. Peter, anything else besides what we already kind of discussed, right? The elections and everything else going on.
Yeah, no, that's the news. It actually, I don't think it halted on Friday, but you're right, it had halted earlier in the week. So it's just active. It's going to stay active for the next couple of days. So yeah, if you want to be part of history, as Brian likes to say, then by all means, watch it and just be careful with it, whatever you do.
Yep, absolutely. And that's it. Oh, one more SMCI. Let's look at this one, and then we'll head over to what Peter has this morning. SMCI on our list, down 4.1. I mean, we just keep sliding, guys. This thing was at 48, gap down big on this was the 30th, maybe Wednesday. I can't remember. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. So
Yeah.
all 3 days last week, just gapping down and selling down as well. So not just gapping down and holding. They've been selling down this morning, down again. Peter, no fun for SMCI as we continue to see them slide off here.
Yeah, and in fact, they're probably continuing to be hurt by the fact that there is no news. So I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday when the news first broke that they were delaying the release of their 10K statements and that their auditor has resigned. And then they've been very quiet ever since. And quiet is not a good look for them right now because investors or anybody playing the stock want some reassurance that there's not severe problems with disclosure of information or maybe some malfeasance. I mean, again, that's the concern. There's no proof of that, but it's never a good sign when your auditor sort of resigns in protest. So SMCI just continues to slide as people are waiting to hear something positive from the company or something at all from the company. So yeah, it's I'm not sure how in play it's going to be, but it's definitely been in play the last few days. So reasonable to expect it to continue, I guess, until we hear something one way or the other.
Yeah, yeah, I would think so. I'm gonna have it on my list. So I have Tesla and SMCI this morning. Peter, let's stop here. Let's go to you. What do you like so far today?
Well, one that is on the list that we skipped over, CEG. They had earnings as Constellation Energy. They had earnings this morning. I was following them. They had a good quarter. They beat their numbers, 6.5 reported revenue versus 6.2 forecast. And their earnings were just like 2 pennies over. $2.74 is what they delivered. So, but you notice the stock is gapping down despite the earning news. Same we were talking about. So they're getting caught up in the nuclear regulatory announcement this morning that plant power diversion for Amazon is not being approved. So CEG gapping down this morning. The only other one that I was watching was Marriott Hotels, MAR. Marriott International. They had earnings. Actually had a bad quarter in this case. They 6.25 billion reported revenue versus an estimate 6.28, and their earnings missed by about 5 cents a share, delivering only $2.26 per share. So they don't get a lot of volume, but they're one of the larger hotel chains, I guess, to report, and it sort of tells us what's happening in part of the travel industry. Remember, we had the floating hotels, right? The cruise lines all reported very positive earnings, so they were up, but it looks like the land-based hotels not doing so well. So those are the only two that I had this morning. We covered everything else on the Gappers list.
Yep, there we go, friends. All right, so let's stop here. Let's take a look at what you guys like over in chat. I see you guys mentioning Nvidia, so I did not know this, but Nvidia joining Dow, so that's some news there. And Intel is out; it will be replaced by will be replacing Intel in the Dow Jones. So I did not know that. I mean, they've been hot for so long that I think they're like an older company, but they're really not. They just got big, over what I'll say right before the pandemic, right? That's when they really
Yeah,
got going with the AI frenzy.
yeah.
So just makes me think like, oh, they should have been there a long time ago, but no, they're just getting their entrance ticket now. So how well it's going to drive them? I mean, they're already at all time highs. I don't know how much it's going to affect them. We might see maybe some more volume, although 6.1 million, we've been seeing that in the past with a much bigger news. So I'm not sure how big this is going to be for them. Still fun to watch. It is
It,
Nvidia.
it
We do have space for it. I will be adding it here. Yep.
Yeah, it might be bigger news for Intel as they're leaving the Dow. That means that any tracking
Yeah.
stocks that sort of have them added, they'll have to add Nvidia and remove Intel. So it could be that Intel takes a hit as a result. This happens on Friday, by the way, the official swap, which means that some of these the holding stocks, the ETFs, and that will be making their moves in advance as they readjust. So probably the tail end of this week, Wednesday, Thursday, is more likely when we'll see that impact, if any. But as you say, Carlos, Nvidia, just with the way it trades, it's probably not. You're not going to see a direct impact or a big lift. I don't think. I could be wrong, but we actually, it's been fairly quiet the last few that this has happened for. I haven't seen as big of an impact as I expected. So I'm trying to temper my enthusiasm on it this time.
Yeah. And Intel is tough to trade too. So even on this news, man, they're just so difficult. They got good volume today as well. 1.6 million up, down 1.4. So we'll just have to see how things play out here. All right, what else, friends? I saw people mention VKTX. Is this one here? So I saw a couple of
Viking
members in our
Therapeutics.
YouTube chat. Yeah, so this thing was up 91, slammed back down though. Look at the pre-market action all the way up to 91 and then right back down to 75, almost going red, just above their previous day close. So they got some news, Peter. I saw in chat about weight loss drug. Is that what it is? Another one of these things.
Yeah, that's what's been pushing them. Their weight loss drug or their obesity pill, which they released some data that suggested that at higher doses, it really delivered some even increased benefits. Uh, I'll avoid the obvious jokes in that, but anyways, so it looks like that news was short lived though, because as you see, if you look at that 5 minute stock chart, sorry, you were looking at, it really jumped up and then fell back down here. So yeah, I don't know. Like, is it already over? Is the excitement done for the day? I'm not sure, but that was the news, anyways. That some promising early results.
All right, so there you see it, friends. It's definitely in play. I'm going to put it on my secondary. It will be interesting. I mean, that is a big range, guys. 91 and the low 73, and trying to bounce here from our previous day close. Let's take a look at it in a few minutes and see how that looks. So VKTX, I'm going to add that on there as well. All right, over in our chat, what else do we have, friends? Looking at YouTube, Intel, we did talk about already. PLTR, we haven't seen that one in some time. PLTR, oh, sliding down from their recent highs here, down 2%, 1.5 million shares traded. So the fund kind of showing a little bit of a here into some areas of some support. So we already blew by the big support at 41.85, and the only one we have left is down here, kind of 40.33. So it could be interesting. PLTR is a tough stock to trade, man. Even when it has big news, I have no success with this thing. So I've seen traders do very well. So if you guys are watching it, great. I am just not a good POTR price reader, Peter. I'm not sure about you, but I'm horrible at this one.
No, I haven't been able to read it very well either. So I don't know why. Like, it looks like it should be a good trader. It always
Yeah.
seems relatively positive, but for some reason, maybe it's because there's not as much institutional ownership of it. I don't know, but I'm just guessing on that. But yeah, I agree with you. It's been more challenging to trade than I would have hoped.
Yeah, they have earnings coming out tonight, so maybe tomorrow we'll get a shot of it, right? If we can get this going. So that'll be interesting because they had a nice run over September and October. So let's see how the numbers actually pull off here. Let's see if they're able to keep this momentum going, or are they overpriced here on their future expectations. So I'm gonna add as a secondary just because they have earnings tonight. That might be interesting, but again, I'm gonna be very cautious in actually trading it because I'm just not good at it. CMG, CMG right now, this is a tough stock to trade. Even after their split here, they just don't trade well. They don't get volume. Look how choppy they look. They almost look foreign on their daily. So I'm not a fan of it at all. Free market action, I'm not seeing a whole lot going on here. Very light volume. I thought this one, even when it came down to $8, it would get a lot more activity, Peter, and it hasn't at all. So I'm not a fan of it. Very tough to trade.
Wow. Wow. Hey, look, I was looking up news on CMG. Not a lot happening there, but I ran across this. Did you know TGI Fridays has apparently filed for bankruptcy protection? They're claiming they're still
TGI
they just
Friday.
can't manage.
Huh.
Yeah, they can't manage their capital structure with the after effects of COVID-19, so they haven't been able to completely recover. And there you go, TGI Friday. TGI Fridays is one of those brands where you find TGI Fridays in all of the weird, tourist spots around the world. It's one of those
Yeah, yeah.
U.S. chains that, like wherever you go, like they have them in Japan. I've seen them in. They were in Cambodia, for God's sake, when I visited there. Like they have weird TGI Fridays, and anyways, I just find them in odd places. It seems like odd places to me.
I've been to
So
the one in Japan. It's very weird.
there, there you go. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah,
Firsthand field reporting from Brent.
Coming at you from
yeah.
Tokyo.
Yeah, live from Tokyo.
Live from Tokyo. Anyways,
There it is.
Anyways,
Yeah, they closed
they're
the one by
filing for
me. I had
bankruptcy
one
protection.
town over,
Yeah.
and that one closed months ago.
It,
So yeah, it's
TGI Fridays does feel like one of those chains that does better internationally than it does regionally. It's like some of those beers. Like, I challenge you to go to Australia and try and order a Foster's. Like, you can't find it in country. Like, nobody drinks it. It's not one of those things. I don't know. There's a lot of beer brands that do that where they just don't sell in their local country and they sell everywhere else. TGI Fridays feels like one of those restaurant brands. Like, I don't know many Americans that go to TGI Fridays, but maybe it is more of a thing than I know. But it again seems to be all over the place. So
Yeah, yeah, it's not on my family's rotation, or wasn't at that time. All right, let's see here,
yeah.
guys. Apple. Let's take a look at that one. Then we'll head over to community events and announcements. Apple this morning, down 1%, 486,000 shares traded. I have space for Apple. I mean, I only have three right now: Tesla, SMCI, Nvidia. I'm going to put Apple on the list. It's not doing a whole lot, but it'll be fun to watch and see how things move today. So we'll stop here, friends. Let's get over to our community events and announcements, and then we'll come back and do some levels and get you guys ready for the market open with Andrew and moderator. So, Peter, what's happening this week?
Right. So let's just go back a step and just say for all those that are just joining us, because I see a lot of questions about it. There's a lot happening today, right? So not just in our community, but in the markets. Today is the calm before the storm. The a big election day is tomorrow. If you haven't voted and you're registered to vote in the U.S., make sure you vote. Cast your vote. That's important. It's the one thing we get to do in a democracy to directly impact the outcomes. And yes, your vote does have an impact. So go vote. But the markets then are probably going to start to get a little weird tomorrow. And then Wednesday should be crazy, right? Because we're going to see the outcome one way or the other, which I expect to have an impact on the markets. Thursday, we then have the rate announcement. So we can't forget that either, right? November the 7th is when the Fed announces their next rate change / cut. I say that because right now, 98.2% of all the analysts out there believe that the Fed is going to cut the rate by a quarter point. And remember when we did this last time, the rate came in exactly as expected, but with 98.2, that means less than 2% of the analysts out there think that there's going to be no rate cut, and nobody thinks anything other is going to happen. Everybody's, banking on this quarter point cut. So if something different than a quarter point cut happens, we could see even more uncertainty and craziness in the market. So yeah, we got some interesting things to watch for later this week. To keep you grounded here in the community, we have our regular slate of activities. So while you're watching all that fun with the elections and the markets and the rates, why don't you can focus on your trading, and whether you go live or stay in the simulator, we can help you out starting today with two different activities to help you get going. We've got our onboarding class that happens at 8 o'clock tonight that Carlos leads. So if you're new to the community, want to get familiar with what's happening, go to the onboarding. It's a great way to get oriented. And then at noon, or maybe starting at noon today, if you want to get help configuring your DAS platform or finding some new tips or tricks of how you can manage the charts, new studies to put on there, how do I get this thing working? It's a great platform, this DAS Trader Pro platform, but it's not always easy to figure out. So Brendan is going to help you with that at noon. That's for all members, by the way, both of those sessions. At any level, you can go into the onboarding room, and take advantage of those two at noon and 8 o'clock. Tuesday, we talk strategy. And this Tuesday, we've got a good strategy session coming to you. That's Brent, if you can remind me what it is. I need you to slide. There we go.
Sorry.
That's right. Spot Gamma with Jared. Jared's going to be talking Spot Gamma. And by the way, if you were in this morning looking for Jared, he unfortunately wasn't able to do the engineering the markets this morning, but don't worry, he's all good. He'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be doing engineering the markets as well as his session tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on how to leverage Spot Gamma in your trading. So he trades options. It's great for helping with options. If you want to understand how to use it, then join that session at 8 o'clock. Next week, Thor is going to be leading the session, talking about the how. He's got the where, the when, and the how. The how is how you take the trades, and he'll focus on the mental art of taking those trades. That'll be on November the 12th, once again, at 8 o'clock. Wednesday, we talk psychology. In our Wednesday session, Dr. Kenneth Reed is leading it. He's going to talk about planning for the planning impaired. So that's going to be a great session. And hopefully you will join him at 8 o'clock again, November the 6th. That's the in-between day between elections and rates. So, while you're waiting for all that stuff to happen, why not join Dr. Kenneth Reed there on Wednesday night? And the next Wednesday, Wesley Altman will be with us talking about the path to trading mastery. So his sessions are always good, and you can join that one on November 13th once again at 8. On Wednesday as well, don't forget, we've got our bookmap session with Nathan. Nathan helps you understand how to use bookmap and leverage it in your trading, whether you've got it or just are curious about what it might do. go to that session at noon on Wednesday and you can find out. And Thursdays, I was going to say, last but not least, Thursdays, we have 4 different sessions for you. 4 mentorship sessions. John does a class at 11 a.m. Then Jared and Megan talk options at 2. Lenny does a course at 4. And then Thor does his 8 p.m. class. So there you go. That's our lineup for the week. Busy, as always, throughout the week. If you want to join us here in the chat room and take advantage of all the stuff that we've got, including all those classes I was just talking about, then you need to join one of the elite plans, the elite annual or the diamond would be the 2 plans. The diamond, both of those, by the way, are discounted. Use the code SPOOKY50 to get the discounts on those. But the difference between the elite annual and the diamond, well, you get everything we have to offer in the room with both of them. The diamond, though, also gives you a $50,000 funded trading account. So not only do you have access to the room, the webinars, the chat room all day, but you can also get access to a $50,000 funded trading account. And if you follow the rules of that account as we've laid them out, which you don't have to, by the way, you can trade it however you want. But if you trade it following our rules, then and make money doing it, you can get paid that money. So it might even be free if you're able to trade well, and you can get paid. So check it out. Get the details on our website, and you can find out more about it. TradingTerminal.com is where we send you every day to get information on the market. So check it out, and you can get stuff there. We're running short of time, so let's set some levels. I'll tell you what our moderators are watching, and we'll go for open.
All right, absolutely, friends. So let's jump right in here and look at some levels. But before we do that, friends, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. I know many of you have done so already. We appreciate it. It does help us out a ton. We're sitting at 184 likes right now. We'd love to be a little bit higher, closer to 300. We have 723 people watching. And I guess that's a high number. I guess people woke up early today because of the hour change. So they're like, if you're in other parts of the country, you're probably thinking that we're running late here. But no, the time has changed. But we appreciate it. We could be a lot higher. We definitely love your support there. So thank you, guys. All right, let's take a look here at
I was about to say, they can join us at 8:30 in the morning now if they're already used to it.
It's better.
That's more users than we've ever seen.
Absolutely. I dislike this time changing stuff. That's another rant for another day, but it throws my kids off. They were up at 5 a.m. today. We got to stop this crap, man. This is not fun. This is not fun. It takes them a week now to recover from this. Not cool. All right. Here is Tesla, friends. Tesla is down 2.5 million shares traded. Let's get some levels in here. Love the pre-market right now. We're going to slam it at 242.85. That's a good level there. Towards the top, we don't need to add anything. Pretty easy. Highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Previous day close, doing an amazing job. We're going to look at the left here and slam over at 233.90, and then right down here, another great level at 232.60. So that's all you need for Tesla. SMCI, friends, towards the top, you got the steps here. Nice levels of the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Previous day close as well. Love the pre-market 24.80. We'll slam one there. And then we're going to go to the left, and I'm going to go straight to a weekly because I know it's been a while since we came down here. So we're going to go to 2023, July, August timeframe off the weekly. We're going to go 23.51. It's a good area. And just in case we really lose it here, 21.17, which again, SMCI has really been losing over the last couple of days. It's not been having fun. So we got some good levels there. Let's go to NVIDIA. NVIDIA will be easy because it's just kind of stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days towards the bottom and top there. We're going to mark the high of the pre-market at 139.87. They're being added this Friday to the Dow Jones. So let's see how that reacts to it. Intel's coming off. So let's see how those two look in the next couple of days leading up to that. But NVIDIA close to their all-time high, so I don't expect them to really react any sort of way to this news. But it will be fun to have on here. 6.9 million shares traded already. Let's take a quick look at Apple. Apple has been sliding over the last couple of days. Today, they're down another 1%. 220 is the low of the pre-market. And if we head to the left here, we got a couple of levels we want to mark off in case we do dive lower. 217.71 is a good one. And then right in here, we got a minor level support and resistance, 224.16. I know it's above the previous day close, but it's worth marking down. So a lot of touches slamming into that. And then high of the pre-market, 222.30. And once you do that, we'll move this up right over. Once you do that, you're pretty much set on Apple. So there you have it, friends. Just 4 from me: Tesla, SMCI, NVIDIA, and Apple. There's some really good secondary stuff on here, like Roblox as well, that we'll keep an eye on. POTR and VKTX are very active. But let's take you to what our team is watching, and then we'll take you over to our live traders. We are live in the market in 5 minutes here. So, Peter, what is our team watching today?
All right, let's get on that. We could tell you our moderators are watching a whole bunch of fun stuff. There's some overlap, but for the most part, whoops. We got 5 minutes to the open. Eamon's going to be watching Starbucks, which is not one of the ones we talked about, but he's got his eye on a slightly different approach. So I hope it works out for him. Megan's going to be watching Tesla, Roblox. And then I'm not sure who this list is for. This Andrew, anyway. Andrew's in early. Look at this.
Sorry, it's
Watching
an update.
Tesla. Yeah. And the market indices. Lenny's going to be watching Tesla, Nvidia, Dell, Roblox, and SMCI. We've got Avi, who's going to be watching Tesla, Meta, and Amazon. I don't have any IPOs, by the way, this morning. Mondays are usually quiet, so not unexpected there. But Mike is going to be watching Tesla and NVIDIA. Brendan is going to be watching Viking Therapeutics, VKTX, NVIDIA, DJT, SMCI, and Tesla. Pierre is going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, SMCI, and AMD. And I, looks like I'm late, and then almost last year, going to be watching AMD, Tesla, and NVIDIA. Keep an eye on Amazon, OKLO. I'm just curious to see if it does anything, and SMCI. A couple of our moderators are in the last minute or so. Phil, I think I already mentioned Phil, but he's watching Tesla, NVIDIA, and Apple. And Paris is going to be watching DJT, NVIDIA, Tesla, SMCI, and AMD. So semis heavy this morning. There you go, guys. That's what we're watching. We've got our live traders ready to go here. Good morning, Pierre. Good morning, Andrew. I hope you both had a great weekend and are ready to go.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, we did. I had a great weekend. I don't know about Pierre.
Yeah,
Good.
pretty relaxed weekend, but was good.
Excellent.
Nice.
Well, you guys trade smart. We'll leave you to it, and we'll talk to everybody again tomorrow morning. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you so
Sure, guys.
much.
Stay safe.
Go vote. Carlos, go vote before it's too late. That's awesome. Election on tomorrow. It's super amazing. Election.
Yeah, it's gonna be some volatility in the market, I'm pretty sure.
For sure, yeah. Let's see. The market is doing. Market is just looking for excuse to be volatile. So, what else better than election result? So, what are the odds for voting? I think. Let's see. Still the same. Yeah, 58-41. Harris is a little bit better than before.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Will be interesting.
Yeah, it's tie pretty much. I mean, in the betting, Trump has a better chance, but I think in all the polls, it's essentially a coin toss. All right, so Nvidia is popping up. Tesla is gapping down. Tesla is really into this range between 200 to 270. I mean, I don't know. Tesla is.
I think I will be more interested in a short on Tesla than a long. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes lower.
You want to short it, Tesla? That's what you said?
Well, I think I'm more short bias, but again, I need to see what kind of patterns we're going to see at the open, what kind of VPA we have, and where we open. But I think just by looking at the daily chart, we have more downside.
Yeah, SMCI is also selling off super significantly. SMCI said the auditors, I think they said they don't want to have any association with SMCI. So who knows what they cooked into their books. John, did you vote?
I think DGT could be interesting as well today. Gonna add it to my watch list.
DJT is really rallying down. So Thor says lots of buying on the ES. Let's see where the volume is coming. 10 seconds to the open. Guys, remember with these penny stocks and low float stocks, be careful of your share size. Even DJT, your share size. I had a big loss on it last week. So remember of the share size, guys. There you go. Here we go. Ding, ding, ding. DJT has some nice volume. NVIDIA ain't nothing.
SMCI dropping here.
Yeah,
Semper
SMCI is so
AMD.
weak. Tesla is popping up above the VWAP.
Yeah, and Tesla
NVIDIA
open
above
over
130.
S4.
What's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA is below the VWAP. Tesla closes a doji. NVIDIA is popping up. It's below the VWAP. Hit the scanners too.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Tesla's
get a
dropping
short on
here.
SMCI. I'm gonna get a short on SMCI at 2450. I got partial fills on that. 2450 1 minute open range breakdown. Let's see it's going below. Oh, perfect. Nice. Let's see if we can close below 24. SMCI short, guys. You can get a feel on that. NVIDIA is also dropping.
Gonna go to
Beautiful.
24.
Let's see if we can break.
There's some
24,
orders
nice.
there.
24. Yeah, SMCIs. This is a troubled company. Well, did a 1 minute open range breakdown. Let's see. Should I cover? Should I? Tesla is also dropping. Yeah, Tesla is also a nice short.
Yeah, Q's tried to push to the VWAP and reject. Everything looks weak here.
And also short Tesla 243. Stop loss would be, I guess, above 244. Let's see if SMCI wants to go a little bit lower. I had a little bit on my short on Tesla 243.50. And this quick pullback. So levels.
Lots of volume is coming on AMD here. Just trying to hold, but a
AMD?
lot of orders on the downside. Yeah.
Tesla is dropping, guys. So I'm covering some. Should I cover? Yeah, so I'm covering some Tesla here, 241.90. Let's see if SMCI can continue going down. I took a big size on both of them. Like a below
Yeah, there goes
24,
24.
shutting down. Yeah, nice, guys. Very
Nice.
beautiful. Nice. Anyone took SMCI short, guys? Yeah, Tesla below. I'm also short Tesla big size, 241.50. Let's cover some here.
Still nothing for me. I'm just looking here.
Yeah, this trading at the open is super tricky, guys. Be careful if you're not into the. Fuck, this SMCI is bouncing back. No. Yeah, I'm covering all of my SMCI, guys. I'm all out of SMCI.
Yeah, some big volume came at 24 there. What a bounce. Wow.
Yeah, Tesla. Let's see. Yeah, SMCI is. I'm all out of it, guys. That's a really good profit. So I'm short 7,000 shares of Tesla now, which is kind of a big size. Covering some. Let's see what Tesla daily chart look like.
DGT is also pushing here. It's going towards R3.
Wow. Yeah,
up
DJT.
6%.
Oh yeah, it's such a nice opening range break up. I usually trade that. Should we jump in long on DJT, huh?
We had some people in the room trading DGT. That's nice.
Nice, yeah. DJT has a really good volume too. This volatility on it is super high, guys. You gotta be super careful. Oh, Tesla is beautiful. Like I'm getting out more on Tesla, guys. Here, 241.
Also, I grabbed the long on AMD 140, just at S4 pretty much. It's trying to go towards the VWAP here, through the VWAP. Have my target at 142. So let's see.
Yeah, SMCI might be a long. I'm taking a long on SMCI 2470. Let's see if SMCI can do a quick pop above the VWAP. At least at the VWAP, it's a little bit tricky at the VWAP. It might sell off, but really forming a 5-minute engulfing pattern. I'm adding a little bit more on SMCI. Let's see if we can do the break of high of the day. Oh, here you go.
Tesla is still
SMCI,
dropping.
big ask on 25. There you go. I'm selling SMCI, guys. Partialing on SMCI. 2470 all the way up to 25. Tesla. Oh, yeah, beautiful. Partialing more on Tesla too. Long SMCI at 2475.
Nice. Big rejection on AMD there at the VWAP. I don't really like it. See if it can hold there at low of the day.
What is the JT doing? There's such a good volatility on everything. DJT dropped. Yeah, I can't have everything, so I just want to focus on SMCI.
You still short Tesla as well?
Yeah, I'm still short Tesla. Oh, only 2,000
Nice.
shares left. That was a nice 5 minute opening range breakup. CSMCI wants to go a little bit higher. I have a big size on SMCI. Why am I taking such a big size? I have a lower cost than I.
There's some big orders on SMCI at 2540 all the way to 26.
Yeah, the pattern is super nice on SMCI. I need this light. Election, guys. Election is happening. Although these trades have nothing to do with the election. SMCI is a troubled company in terms of financing and auditing. Apparently, they cooked some books. Right, I think I'm gonna get out of SMCI because it acts a little bit funny now. My average is 2475.
See if AMD can
Right.
do a double bottom here.
I'm all out of SMCI, guys. I'm all out of SMCI. Nice. If SMCI was gapping up, I would have stayed in there, but it's also gapping down like 6-7%. I just got out of it. Tesla, let's see what Tesla is doing. The market had a big drop and then slowly coming back. SMCI went up more.
So the Qs
I should
went the Qs went under Friday's low, and now we're trying to go back over Friday's low, and so far rejecting. It's an interesting spot.
Yeah, SMCL was super nice. Yeah, unfortunately, I had a really good day. I don't know if I want to go back on SMCI, but this was a super nice pop. NVIDIA, yeah, NVIDIA is a balance reversal too.
Nice, Brendan. Catch that that pop on SMCI. Beautiful.
Nice. So what about you guys on YouTube? What did you guys do? DGT. Manny is trading DGT. SMCI, man. Oh, why did I get out of SMCI? Look at this beauty. Oh,
2550. It's pretty much there.
nice feel.
So I'm still long AMD. Just holding here is choppy under the VWAP, which is not the best thing to see.
So what
I
are
want
you're
to
trading
see.
AMD?
Yeah, I catch AMD at 140, so I have pretty good entry, but struggling here at under the VWAP. I want to see 142.
Oh, all right. SMCI, don't go higher. Yeah, SMCI might go green today. Super strong. Did anyone took SMCI long? The rim's very nice. Nice,
Wow,
guys.
SMCI is still going.
It's crazy. Yeah. I don't know why I got out of it. Oh,
It went down to test the VWAP pretty fast, but no volume there. If you look at that 1 minute candle,
yeah. I had a good entry too. Like I'm very profitable today. Like I could. It's okay. Sometimes it happens, and it's very important for you guys to uh, stick to your rules and don't chase and don't follow anything that is not.
so SMCI is right at Friday's low, and then we have Friday's close at 2605. Also some big orders at 26. Pretty sure SMCI might go to 26.
It went back green. I'm still short Tesla
AMD.
243.16.
All right, AMD is going here. Oh yeah, good bounce on AMD there. 141.
So you are long AMD, SMCI 26. Oh my God. So the daylight saving time was now, huh? Was yesterday. Do you guys do it in Colombia too? The daylight saving time or no?
What's that? Halloween?
Daylight saving
No.
time, change of time. No, they don't do it in
No,
Colombia.
no. Colombia, we never change the time. So now I'm trading an hour later than usual. Instead of 1:30, now it's 9:30. Yeah, basically in Colombia, the sun always wake up around the same hour, go down around the same hour, always same kind of
Yeah, you don't
weather.
need it.
It's really
Yeah.
stable.
Yeah, you're right. 138 big ask on NVDA, SMCI 26. Damn, the SMCI.
Yeah, it's gonna go green here.
Oh,
Oh,
look at that. Tell me that somebody took this trade. This was such a nice trade. Oh man, I'm an idiot. It was just a good trade. It's not about the money. It was a good trade to hold like this 5-minute bullish engulfing. Beautiful.
yeah. I mean, even if you're not still in the trade, you knew you called the right trade. That's what is that's what is important. You know, you were in the right trade. You took the right decision. You just got out too quick.
Yeah, my rule is get out of the break even. This one kind of test my break even. Well, but I could get back in there, I guess. But yeah, so nice. Look at that. It's
Juan,
getting
I'm
good trade.
close to Medellin. I'm about 30 minutes from Medellin and Rio Negro. Lenny is in Medellin.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna be in Medellin in almost 3 weeks now. So I'm
Yeah,
super
less than a
excited.
month. That'll be nice.
Yeah, Pierre is probably fluent in Spanish, I think. Yeah, I mean, even last time you were
Yeah, I wouldn't say my
right.
Spanish is perfect. Far from that, but I'm able to speak.
Guys, did you take anyone in YouTube? Did you take SMCI? It was an amazing trade to the long side. Did anyone took that? Nice. You took AMD. AMD, oh, look at this rip on uh, AMD. Yeah.
Look at DGT. DGT really rejected there. That 32.5 level looks
Yeah.
weak there.
Oh, super weak. Yeah. It's dumping on. So I had a really good day. So you can see my screen. I had a good long on SMCI. I had a good short on SMCI. Also had a really nice short on Tesla. And I am still short on Tesla, but it's gonna get really into my break-even point. So I don't think I'm gonna trade anything more. Plus, I did my microdose today. It was just hit me like this microdose. I've never been like this. This mushroom is really hitting me really bad. It's like a DMT. It's like, fuck, am I dying? No, at one point, exactly, the SMCI was just, I've never been like that. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was not fun. It was scary. Like, holy moly. Oh, what's happening with DJT? Some big volume came in.
Yeah, some buyers there around 30. It's the order book
I know
on
T-Man
on
was so
DGT.
trippy. It was so trippy. It still is, but I think now it's manageable. But the other ones, like for at least 2 minutes, like holy moly, he wasn't like that. Hmm. Guys, thank you so much for 25 people who sign up for TED and conference for next year. That was awesome. So early bird tickets are over. We increased the price today. Thanks for everybody who really solidly supported our event. Because the early bird is for to see if people are signing up or not, and kind of plan in advance. But that early bird is full, so we go one here. Yeah, Phil, I've done DMT. I've done DMT multiple times, and I did breakthrough. So the DMT is a very powerful psychedelic, and to break through, you have to fight with ego. Ego is just controlling the mind, controlling the consciousness, and it's really nice. For 5 seconds, I was controlling, and then I said, "Okay, I'm dying. My brain is completely gone, so I'm dying. Goodbye." I had a good run, and then boom, you break through. The moment that the ego in the consciousness you let it go, then you actually break through to the full experience when it covers the whole brain. So DMT is a very, very interesting. I think they say that when you die, the body produces some DMT, so it's like dying.
Where you did that, Andrew? South America?
At my home. No, no, no. I did it at
Okay,
my
okay.
home. Yeah, yeah, I did it at my home. But the
Did you see
experience is
see the
so.
machine elves? That's reported among.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
that's
them.
rad.
Yeah, I saw the elves. I saw them in the middle, and then they are. I saw harmony. One thing that I want to say about my experience is the harmony. That I saw visions of the harmony. That how everything is connected to each other. Like the world is in harmony. Like everything that happens to you with outside in the nature is harmony. People have different experiences on it. But for me, I did it like 3 times back in 2021. Then during my divorce, I was really mentally I was really sick and stuff. So it really helped me to calm down and see the world differently. They're not drug. Psychedelics are not drug of abuse. You are not get addicted to that like cocaine or other drugs, because the experience is tense. They're not down enough. Like mushrooms is a creativity, I think, drug in my opinion. So you don't really get addicted to that. So yeah, DMT is super interesting. Which is the same molecule as ayahuasca DMT. But in ayahuasca, it's releases slowly in the body and you eat it. The ones that pharmaceutical is a crystal, you smoke it, and because the molecule is not really active in oxygen, so just few seconds and decomposes. Tesla, okay, enough of shit. I'm gonna get out of Tesla. Talking about this, get to cover your short, man. Instead of getting high. Um, all right, so I'm all out of Tesla, guys.
Yeah, looks like the
Let's
queues
back in.
went back to retest the VWAP and trying to hold here.
I'm all out, guys. I'm all out of everything. SMCI. Bastard. It's 2% up. Really nice. All right.
I'm still long AMD here. Haven't partial yet. I'm waiting for 142. Looks like it's having trouble there at Friday's low. Rejected twice.
It's gonna be super, super interesting. It's
SMCI is
super
still
interesting.
holding the 9 moving average.
Strong. So you took the only AMD, huh? AMD long, and it's going up.
Yeah, yeah. Since early, since 9:33. It's finding some rejection here, but there's still a lot of orders on the top side, so I think there's good chance it's gonna go to my 142 target. Will my partial or 50% for that kind of strategy? If I play RNB, I usually go with 25%, but for reversal like that, I take 50%.
What's Brian doing? Having fun in Portugal? Brian is having fun, huh? Mr. Pessim is in Portugal. I think he's having fun in Portugal.
Yeah, Portugal looks beautiful. I've never been there, but I would love to visit. Would love to go play some golf there. Looks like they have some really pretty golf courses.
Beautiful country. Like it's such a beautiful country, Portugal. And people are so nice and friendly. The food is amazing. Seafood is amazing there. Like I love Portugal. It's definitely one of my favorites countries in the world. Lisbon is also very beautiful. All right, so SMCI is kind of died on the 2650. Oh, look at that pump!
There
Did you
you
see that?
go.
Like the volume was
The
the
moment you
volume
said it,
was really low.
Spoke too soon.
Yeah, boom! Look at that. No, it was
it's
funny. It
dying.
was
Nope.
like, no, I'm alive. Good. Yeah, I don't want to go long SMCI now. I don't want to short this. This is very strong now. I don't want to short it. It's just I missed the boat on it, unfortunately. I was thinking of getting back in there, but no. Plus, I made $47,000. I don't know if I have one more or not. So, I for me,
Yeah. Yeah, there is a good spot to partial. I think if you're long on this MCI, we have R3 there at 27. So we're starting to be a little bit extended. Although there's still a lot of orders on the top side, a lot of sellers. So I wouldn't short it as well.
well,
I'm
three.
still
I
going.
traded SMCI both sides and Tesla short. But Tesla is going back up very nicely too. HD Home Depot, is it earning on Home Depot? No, it's going up nicely.
What's the ticker of Home Depot?
I think HD.
HD. It's up 2%. No volume though.
No, it's slowly grinding up. Yeah, like it does. Yeah, the order flow is important. Like SMCI order flow is really nice. Can't believe we're trading this at 27. This was the craziest stock like 6 months ago. So how was your trading day, guys, in YouTube?
Hold on, we got incoming news.
And then, oh, it's 10, yeah. Is Peter coming? Where's the music? Oh, yes.
Good morning, traders. This is your Bear Bull Trading News Update. I hope everybody's having a great trading morning. It's Peter out here in the field reporting live, doing the voice because Andrew likes it so much. I just like to see him smile like that. So, all right, guys, we have two pieces of data I wanted to share with you this morning. We're expecting factory orders to come in month over month for September, expected to be a 0.4% contraction. So minus 0.4 came in at minus 0.5, so a little bit down. And then total vehicle sales is the other one we're looking for. It gets divided up by car and truck sales. Total vehicle expected to be around 15.6 million. I don't see that number out yet, so we're waiting on that to hit. At the moment, the markets are not reacting to this news, but keep in mind, this is really just a warm-up for the big news that's coming later this week. We're not really going to be able to do a live news update for the elections because that all happens after market hours. But we definitely will be having one on Thursday when we have the rate announcement. That's going to be coming up. Well, that'll be usually it's a little bit after this show is done. But, for the fun of our members in the room, we'll definitely do a news update. So, as just mentioned, we had the factory orders come out. That came in pretty much as expected at a 0.5% contraction. Still don't see the vehicle sales number coming out. So, looks like they're a little bit late on that data. Being that that's not there, we'll return you to our live traders back in the studio. So, Andrew and Pierre, back over to you.
Thank you, Peter. I think you're mute, Andrew.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
There you go.
Sorry.
So not too much reaction to those news yet. Although the Qs are at high of the day here.
Oh. All right. So Tesla is also bounced back very nicely. NVDA is a nightmare. Yeah, SMCI was a trade of the day. Super nice. Super beautiful.
Yeah, Tesla is back at S4. AMD is
Tesla,
working nicely as well. Almost to my target. Slowly, just slowly going up there.
Who's coming to Vancouver for March for event? Anyone from the chat? Definitely not from YouTube people. You guys are cheap. I'm sorry, just kidding. Anyone comes to Vancouver from YouTube? VKTX is falling. Yeah.
I'll be there in Vancouver for sure. I'm looking forward to it. Never been there.
Who invited you, Pierre? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm actually seeing Pierre in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'll be in Colombia with most of our team. It's going to be a really, really nice event. So, Abiola, the March 29 is the TED, and then 2 days of our own conference. March 29.
So SMCI is dropping a little bit here. With Tesla, so Tesla went back to retest S4 and so far rejecting. That's interesting. Let's see what the Qs are doing here. Yeah, struggling a little bit here. Still looks strong though.
The KTX wasn't it gapping up today? This one? Oh, it's getting destroyed.
Piton was gapping up, but Piton didn't do too much.
Yeah, Piton. Wow. This company went down to $2. I
It's
can't
crazy.
believe that. It's crazy. Like this one, the pandemic was like 170, 150. Yes, Leo. That's correct for the dates. And Mohammed, yes, there's a fee for the conference, which covers the food and the rental and AV and stuff. So, but a lot of things is included already in there, like the food, the coffee, the breakfast, the dinner. The hotels are not included in the price, obviously. Well, we have a really good deal with Paradox Hotel, which is a 5-star hotel, very nice. You can actually get rooms super cheap. And Vancouver is so nice, guys. Like as I mentioned, end of March, April, cherry blossoms are coming out. My favorite time, and the end of October is also really nice. Like everything goes red and yellow. I was running 2 days ago in Vancouver. It's beautiful. Like this beauty of this fall in Vancouver is unbelievable. So the link, sure, yeah. The link to the event, I am actually sharing it for you. Should put it on the home page. It's not on the home page. Yeah, we should definitely put it on the home. Here, I'm sharing it. The link here. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Some of the best skiing in April. Like you get in the Alpine, really deep snow. I like that, Hector. Maybe we do the TED. Maybe a free conference giveaway. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Instead of laptop.
Andrew, do you know if we can rent clothes to go do skiing or snowboarding in Vancouver?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you can.
That would be nice.
You're because I don't think you have a ski clothes.
No, that's the thing. I just have sweatshirts. That's it.
Yeah, you do. One of my friends one time did that. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, and I think Caro will like to do that. My girlfriend, she never skied, she's seen snow in New York once, and that's it. So I think that
Yeah,
could be a
that's
fun
true.
thing
Yeah,
to do.
it's always a spring in Colombia, so they wouldn't do
Yeah.
that. All right, so I missed a lot of opportunities on SMCI. Looking at it with regret, but that's okay. That's how life is. You miss a lot of opportunities. That was pretty good. Let's see what the market is doing. Market is kind of slow down. Qs. VSTE, Vast Renewable. This one was gapping up, didn't trade like super crazily.
All right, AMD is trying to push here. It's right at PDC.
Yeah, it was a nice long on it. AMD seemed that, what's the AMD? I haven't traded. Oh, actually, we should trade more AMD. All right, guys. So, who do you election on tomorrow? Guys, I'll be back in a second. I'll just take a quick break.
I think Tesla is interesting here. So push to S4, rejected, went back to test the VWAP and bounced right away. Now looks like it's forming a kind of double top at S4. I think Tesla was a really good short at the open. See, when you see a stock opening around S4, under S4 here, then showing some weakness, and then massive rejection all the way to S6. All right, the AMD is going here. I want to see 142. There's still a big seller there. It's a couple more cents, and I want to take half my position off at 142. Oh, Gary in the chat, you took Tesla long. That's nice. Right at S6, I guess. Yeah, really nice bounce there. Okay, for the break of the moving average. Nice. So MD almost hit 142, but not quite. So we're just patiently waiting here. Samet, you traded NVDA for the break of the VWAP. Nice. So what DGT did. DGT is still weak, still selling here. It's a tough one to trade. Anybody in the chat traded DGT today? George, nice. Yeah, Tor, I agree with you. Right at S4, struggling here. It's a really interesting spot. If I'm looking the 5-minute chart, that candle we close at 10 a.m. Really high volume. Good VPA there. And we went back to the VWAP bounce, but no volume continuation. Interesting spot to short. So I see some people in the room that are trying Tesla short here. It's a good spot to short. I wouldn't try to short it. I'm just gonna manage my AMD trade, but I can definitely see why you're interested in shorting here. I think you're still mute, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
There you go. Here,
So
my
what are you
target
trying
on
to show?
AMD is 142. I'm not trying to short, but I see some people interested in shorting Tesla here. I think it's at an interesting spot.
S4, yeah, it is S4. The problem with Tesla is really good. Like, look at this V reversal on it. It's crazy. It's a very nice 5 minute to manage breakdown, and then the V reversal.
Yeah,
It's great volatility. It's great volatility.
let's look at the order book on Tesla here. It's a big order at 245. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if it goes there.
45. Oh yeah, I think the way that it goes up is it's the possibility that it goes up.
All right, so I'm selling some AMD here. Beautiful. All right, so that one worked nicely. Now I want to see R3. So that trade on AMD took a while, but just slowly went up.
It's yeah, Tesla is gonna go to 245. Looks like it. Fine. Yeah, place. What's SMCI doing? Ah, SMCI might go to R4 2780. Again, I don't want to take a position now because it's kind of risk to reward isn't there.
Yeah, yeah,
But
it's extended a bit. But in a way, if you look
yeah,
at the 5 minute chart, it's like it's compressing and preparing for a move higher.
yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't long it. I agree with you.
Same situation. Like I knew it's gonna go to 245, but I don't want to take it there because it's just the concept of risk to reward is not there. Because then if it pulls back, you have to also be ready to allow it to pull back. See, it's gonna go for the break of high of the day, Tesla. Plus, it's getting to a time of the day that I don't know, I'm really hesitant to trade.
Yeah, things start to move slower at that hour.
All right, who's gonna win the election? Let's talk about that. Can we put a poll here on the election? Let's. I'm gonna put a poll both in YouTube and also in the chat room. See, how do I do that? There was a way that we can do that. All right, so I'm gonna do that. The poll is yes, and then another one no. All right, so I'm gonna put the poll. See what's gonna think the chat room. I'm actually quite interesting to see if the chat room is red or blue. Um, I don't know actually. That's a good point. And let's also do it on YouTube. See more. There are more red or blue people. How do I do that? I know there's a way we can actually do a poll here in the chat in the YouTube. Start a poll. Oh yeah, okay. I am actually doing it. I'm actually super interesting. Yes, and then no. All right. So how are we doing in chat room? Interesting. In the chat room is super interesting.
I'm curious to
Come on,
see.
guys. Don't, yeah, come on. This is anonymous, so answer your true honest. Like we don't know actually what you vote, so it doesn't matter. Wait a minute. What happened here? Come on, guys, in the chat room. Wow, it's super interesting. The complete opposite. The chat room on YouTube are completely the opposite. It's so interesting.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it's so opposite of each other. Like, like with a huge margin. Oh, it's so interesting. Come on, guys, vote now. All right, so 246. Yeah, Tesla. Come on, guys, vote now. We're gonna post this. I don't think it's gonna change that much. It's so interesting that they're so different, complete opposite of each other. Like,
Now, who's going to win that bet? The chat room or YouTube?
that's very interesting. I actually never thought that they're two complete. Uh, so okay, so I'm posting the result in the chat room. I don't think it's gonna change that much. Uh, no, wait a minute. Actually, they are. No. Actually, they are the same. I'm sorry. No, they are the same. I actually made a mistake. They are the same. Sorry. So the question is, will Harris win the election? Uh, both chatroom and YouTube actually overwhelmingly said no. I'm sorry, I did it wrong. I rated it wrong. All right, so we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, I went to 538. You can see that here. And they do kind of an amalgamation of all the polls. And they're saying Trump wins 53 times out of 100, where Harris only wins 47 times out of 100 in their simulations.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
I'm
the
selling.
reason that I ask it like that, Danny, is because all the party markets and all the betting websites, they ask this question, that will Harris win the election? I think that's the question. But I don't think it really matters that much. How do you ask the question? Uh, no, like I don't think anyone would get mad. I understand the point of view. That's why the way that you're asking the question. Sometimes you manipulate the people, but I don't think in this particular case the wording would be different because it's a very clear, obvious choice. But you know, I've read articles and research that how you actually ask the question can manipulate people in answering that.
Hmm. I'm selling more AMD here. Beautiful bounce.
Yeah, everything is rallying up really nice. Okay, SMCI man is just keep going up 6%. It doesn't stop. Why am I not in there? Tesla. Tesla also rallied really nicely. Yeah, I'm not greedy. I have enough. I had a good day. How much money is enough, really?
Big order 143. I think we're gonna get there. Couple cents.
Hey guys. What should we trade? It's very important. Microsoft is going to go green. That was a good trading day. I
All right.
love that. Even though SMCA had nothing to do with the US election and Tesla, but it was very, very nice trading. I love that. I missed the whole big move on SMCI, but it would have been a very, very nice trade. But overall, it was really good volatility.
Yeah, beautiful moves. I just partial a little bit more here at 143. So right at R3. Some big volume came in there at R3. So if you're long AMD, that's a great spot to partial definitely.
AMD, Tesla, the S3. Tesla with a massive run too as well. So yeah, Tesla's gapping down, running. This October 24th was the earning, yes, that popped up very nicely up to 270. MU record 5 of the day. No, it was a very nice move up. John, how did you find MU? How did you hit the scanner on MU?
GC asking me what I think about Tesla. I thought that Tesla could have been a nice short at S4, but we really hold the VWAP nicely, and the volume decided to picked up when it broke to S4. So now I wouldn't try to short it anymore. Hadi, my next target for AMD will be 144. So that will be my next partial.
CI, that's not a lot of things happening. Yeah, Vancouver is raining. Foggy, raining, snow, not snow, snow in the mountain, but not in the city. Oh, very good. SMCI was really definitely the trade after these 5 minutes. 5 minute engulfings are my favorite pattern. Usually they're very
Yeah.
like look at the 5 minute candlestick. It's it's a bearish candlestick, and then a bullish candlestick comes up. When it comes right into the VWAP area on SMCI, would have been a very nice. This is a very bullish pattern. Like means that the short sellers are losing the control of the price, and then they have to cover. So the very big bullish pattern is happening. Like,
Mhm.
and as you see here, it's from -7% to like 5%, 12% move. It's unbelievable SMCI. I hope that it stays like this for a few more weeks on SMCI.
How often
Plus,
would you say you see that kind of pattern happening?
no, you don't see it very often, and it's very important to see it on a stocks in play. Like for example, and like if you look at the SPY
Mhm.
and 1 minute chart, they're all engulfing all the time. It's the definition of a traffic price action. Constantly, candlesticks are covering each other. If the stock is in play, like -5% or +5%, they're very powerful. I usually go very, very big size on it. Again, if I wasn't hitting on the mushroom in that time, I would have probably could jump back in there. But I was really feeling not myself in that time. But it's super powerful. Like I think Tesla did it somehow. Like let me see. No, it kind of did it. So when they bounce back on Tesla on a 5 minute, look at the 5 minute, look at my screen in the chat room. If this one was coming up a little bit higher, this candlestick, it would have been a very nice engulfing. Usually in the first 5 to 10 minutes, because that's also the highest volume that you have. If it would have come a little bit higher, I would have definitely taken this one very, very big size. So this is a very powerful reversal. And if you can get a good entry on VWAP, it would have been super nice. Like SMCI, look at that. Like this really good entry.
Yeah, $2 move on a $25 stock it's amazing.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Like if you 10, 20 cents on
8%
this.
right there.
For me that I'm trading the shares, large share size. I scalp too fast on these kind of things. But these are really good for if you're a small share size and leave it going on. It's really amazing. Yeah.
Mhm.
And one of the reasons that I jumped out is because I'm taking too big of a size, and that impacts your psychology. It shouldn't impact your trade book. Like your trade book, you should be designed in the way that you trade no matter of the share size. The strategy should stay the same, but the mindset and psychology when it comes into that,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, and the risk management is harder in a way because a 1% down move could happen in seconds on a stock like that. So for sure that plays in your mind.
I think what the Paris is teaching in his course is about tiering, different tiers that he has. If for those of you who take the Paris course on order flow, he has different tier size depending on the situation. So that would be. I think you should have some tier things like the stocks that you think they are A plus or A or B. It's a very good approach and method. Even have different hotkeys for it. For me, my hotkeys, if I'm actually really liking the trade, I press it 2-3 times. So it's based on buying power, like buy $50,000 worth. So if I really like it, I press it multiple times. So it means that I want to go more and more. I like to keep my hotkeys super simple. I don't want complex hotkeys. I mess around with complex hotkeys and different buttons. I kind of don't like it. Very, very simple. And it works for me so far.
And what made you pick mental stop loss compared to a hard stop?
Just I'm lazy. I'm lazy because yeah. I mean, I'm kind of preferring the mental because the hard ones you gotta give it. I don't know. I mean, nothing is certain in trading, and even my stop loss is kind of not 100% certain around this level. I'm looking at the price action all the time. But I'm experienced. I know that I'm not going to do that crazy mistake that I did on Yelp or something like that. But for the people who are not trusting themselves as a decision maker, I know it's very hard when you're in a live trade. It's best to have the hard stop. Do you use hard stop or is it mental loss for you?
Hard stop, yeah, always been using hard stop. But yeah, I agree with what you say, especially if you're scalping or trading the open. Hard stop is trickier to manage because you can get wigged down really, really fast. So I think
Yeah,
really
it
depends
does.
the strategy you're playing.
Yeah, that's what another thing that I found is sometimes these weeks happens, and you're trying to scalp, and these weeks can, like a lot of time they get triggers and messes up your whole trading.
Mhm.
Uh, but you have to know that what are you trading? Like I'm not trading penny stocks, no one under $5. Even for funded account that we have, we're not allowing stocks under $5 for the funded part. For the trading, yeah, you can trade whatever. But Yeah, these are super tricky, and you know, but I know I'm not trading them. So for me, the mental loss is pretty good. But sometimes it's a danger. You know, you lose internet, or you are going into a halt mode.
Yeah, and you got to be mentally prepared. Like you need to manage your emotions really good. And you need to know yourself. Like I know me, mental stop loss wouldn't be for me. I think
See what
I
works for
couldn't
you.
I couldn't handle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Like it's like diet too. Some people are having these apps that track the diet, calorie per calorie. I don't know, man. I'm either have the discipline to not overeat and stay away from that extra beer and pizza, or I don't. Like the app doesn't really help me tracking calorie per
Yeah.
calorie.
Yeah, it's such a hard thing to do.
But it's different for people. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just you have to see what works best for you guys. It's super important.
Exactly.
Like what we always want to be in the chat room is to show you different areas in the community, different what is working and what is not. People different work, and sometimes, we don't agree with each other. Like we don't agree with the strategies that other people are trading, but that's the beauty of trading. Nobody knows there is no right or wrong answer. You just have to figure out the strategy that works for you.
Yeah. And there's so much strategy out there. That's the beauty of trading.
Like I know, for example, Thor wants to be better trader than me, and is trying his hard, but he can't because I'm better and my strategies are better. I'm just kidding with Thor. Is he in the chat room or no? He's not in the chat room. Yeah, good. Don't tell him. All right, so that was awesome, guys. Tomorrow is the election day, guys. Make sure to cast your votes because it's going to bring more volatility for us. And awesome. I'll see you in the chat room, guys, tomorrow. And you guys can, in the chat room, make sure in the YouTube live, you can actually join into the chat room for $1.
Yeah, make sure to like our video on YouTube. It was a pleasure trading with you, Andrew, like always.
Always, yeah. Cheers. So I'm coming back into chat room. I'll just get off the live stream.
All right, cheers, everyone.